it does kind of suggest to me a bit of an unknown quantity coming into this next map. So, but in saying that, Chalet is not exactly a map that was, say, super DAMWON Kia focused, right? Like they're 2-2 on that. They don't really ban it that much, but they also don't really pick it that much. So, in fairness, maybe there's a bit of that as well here for Theme Park. Do look at sort of maybe recent results for DAMWON Kia as well on Theme Park, and I mean, you have to go all the way back to April in an 8-6 loss to Cyclops in the APAC playoffs as well, mind you. And that was in obviously a best of 3. And then prior to that was actually also against Cyclops, but in APAC North where they won that 8-7. So at least a little bit of history there that is prevalent for DAMWON Kia, and also going the distance, mind you, in both of those maps over time. So they've obviously played it. They've obviously had a bit of experience on it. Can we say the same for SSG? I don't think so.
Is the Azami going to be banned out? Yes, it is. DWG not messing around with that one. Nook banned out, rounding out with a Thatcher and a Mirror. All the hard breaches still on the board, which is incredibly important considering the map we are going to. There could be quite the use. Thermite straight off the board for Bosco. They're going to bring a double hard breach. I feel like if we do go to, Armory and Throne, I don't think you can afford to only have one hard breacher. But very quickly, just before we get underway with this one, for those of you that aren't keeping tabs on the A stream, Wild are currently one map up against Team Liquid. This is a challenger team from Europe. They are up the map against Team Liquid. They're currently on Chalet. They are 2-0 up on Chalet already. So it's not looking great for Liquid. I'm sure we'll see them bounce back. I hope we see them bounce back. But yeah, a bit of a wild start. Yeah, tell me.
7-1, Germany over Brazil.
Oh, it does. Brings nightmares. Nightmares.
Yeah, nightmares there for Liquid. Well, out of game, ending game. Very quickly, I've had a bit of a glimpse for Theme Park, APAC North America League, try and see some correlation. Only played once for APAC North. This stage was Theme Park, and it had a 73% defensive win rate from 15 rounds. That went to distance, right? So at least if you're going to have one map sub-sample, at least it went 15 rounds, and it was heavily defender-sided. And in NAL, it's basically 60% defensive win rate. So coming into this first half, DAMWON Kia on the defense, I'm expecting them to honestly 4-2 half this, get off to a really, really good start. If they don't, and SSG look the goods, get a couple of opening kills, do well on the entry, maybe a 3-3 half here for SSG would set them up here on their map pick.
I think for me, the one issue I'm going to have for SSG's attack, where they were tremendous on Chalet, where they might falter here, is their ability to cut off rotates. It's nowhere near as easy on a map like Theme Park. Purely the size and obviously, you know, kind of like the playable portion of this map, it's really hard to get vision on rotates, at least clear vision, just because there are so many avenues for the defensive side. So I'm keen to see where SSG find their openings and how they find their picks. Certainly, we are looking to DWG to have a really big head start, at least in the first half.
And look, I don't want to harp on this as well. We've touched on Dexter coming in, trailing. Rough go of things on Chalet. You've just got to put that in the back of your mind, though, and you've just got to move on. Playing a very important role on the Finker with that LMG in hand as Adrenal Surges. And actually really good timing here as they start to make the aggression. They do get the opening kill courtesy of Rampy.
Lovely.
Watching Dexter though towards Yellow Stairs, but it's his teammates elsewhere getting the job done. 2 early kills on this particular map. These are really good signs for SSG.
Certainly is. They didn't mess about whatsoever on that start. They literally, from what I think it was about a minute 40, straight away cut off that rotate down yellow. And now making life a little bit more difficult for DWG. Somewhat of a big pick if you think about Fultz and what he brought to Chalet. This obviously makes things a little bit more difficult, but still a 3 versus 4. You are talking about an Armory Throne defense, which is not going to be as easy now that you've only got 3 players on site. This really should, I think, it should be converted by SSG, especially after finding that little player kind of tucked away on the upper floor.
Special charge. Stay clear.
Time will be a factor though for SSG, and if you get down to red time and you're still only, say, looking at a 3 versus 4, it starts to maybe even then favor the 3. Oh, Rampy gets caught by Coda. That's a beautiful angle. And a little bit upsetting there if you're Rampy. He's been having a really good performance in this best of 3. Back on Chalet was a very impactful player. Dexter throws out This frag grenade does not really connect, has one more available. Wingman low, didn't quite see what that was happening from Lance. Shot back onto Bosco, hiding behind the bomb chassis. They lose coded. Wiggie's low, but time rob, it's a factor.
Certainly is, and there's too many avenues into the site. It's going to be DWG that are trying to hold down Yas. The last player left, he's on a retake. He might be able to line both players up. The kit's down. It is round over. Dexter cannot clutch up. DWG with a huge start here on Theme Park.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. SSG did basically everything perfect in the middle portion of that round, but as time started to dwindle towards the execution phase, started losing some players. Full credits coded on that hat shot from down below, getting rid of Rampy. I think if he doesn't find that kill, SSG go on and win the round. So it's a rough one. It's a rough one, especially on a map like this where you're not going to get too many opportunities, Rob, to find an attacking round win. That one was there to grasp for SSG, and DAMWON Kia have somehow stolen victory from the jaws of defeat.
It is a huge clutch. There's no two ways about it. Really, really nice start from Yas, but overall, I think DWG's composure, more so from coded in the middle to late portion of that round, finding 2 picks was absolutely pivotal. That really threw a spanner in the works for SSG, and from there, holding down that site. Even though Woogieman dies, really does hold all of those players back from kind of forcing their way into Armory. Now we focus on the attack. I really do need to see something from SSG. We move away from Throne and Armory, which I feel like is, I want to say is the most contested site, just because it is the most played site in most regions.
It's the most defender-sided as well.
By a country mile.
By a country mile, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just the thing for Throw. It's too much to do. It's just too much to do.
That's the thing. That's why it would have been the absolute dream start for SSG to come in and take an attacking round win on Throne Armory. Would have been such a kickstarter for them, but no, they fell short at the final hurdle. And we'll see if they can respond though in the second round. It's all about making sure you're being a team that's contesting in these rounds. They can't be flawless. They can't be clean sweeps. You cannot allow DAMWON Kia to be getting opening kills, forcing you on the back foot early. Kind of like the start of that opening round, Rob. Get those opening kills, put the pressure onto DAMWON Kia. The rounds will come.
The Flores being left in favor of the Thatcher for the ban phase. It'll be the first time we see it in this series, so it will have a lot of use on this map. It doesn't really look like DWG are going to double down with things like deployable shields. At least they've got one, so make life a little bit easier there. The other utility I feel like isn't going to have much use for the Flores, but regardless, it's always good to bring. And now Hot and Cold needs to be careful. Initiation, he's got 2 players he's going to have to deal with, and Rin gets on a bit of a heater, could end up popping off, but this is a really solid start. I am favoring SSG's attacks. I'm quite happy with the way that they've started out here. Very convincing for such a defender-sided map.
It's funny you say that. Ren had a bit of a poor performance on Chalet, but it's a player that obviously does very, very well with DAMWON Kia. Plus 18 KD. Only Gas and Woogieman have higher KDs in stage 2 of APAC North for DAMWON Kia. Really felt like the Katsang show actually on Chalet. But a minute left and it's still 5 versus 5, so not really playing into much of an advantage for SSG. Fultz taking a little bit of damage as well, still has 3 Roteros, but where's this entry coming from? Where are they getting this opening kill? And they don't find it. It's Coated that gets rid of Dexter, who is just not having the best of starts here, trialing out for SSG, but a nice kill for Hot and Cold into initiation. Can he find a second? Not quite, but he hasn't lost his life just yet.
Big thing here is he can cut off Coden, and I think there's a player all the way back by Volt. No, he doesn't stick back into initiation. I suppose when you look at the HP department, it's probably a good idea. Katsang with a kill on the ramp, and things are heating up here. It's not looking all that fantastic, but for that second pick from Hot and Cold, going massive here. Fultz cutting off a rotate yet again. Woogieman does find a kill with the smoke babe. 2v2 with 20 seconds left. SSG have to find their in. They've been able to do so. Yas finds Fultz in the quick response. And now a 1v1. Bosco is going to try and bait out with that plant. But Yas is playing this perfectly. Oh, he's still baiting it. Yas, he's sitting back and waiting for Bosco to push out the door. Hook, line, and sinker. DWG are winning these ones.
I mean, he's just completely played him there, right? He makes the sound cue and the run through, expecting him to then swing the door instead of go for the plan, and he's played that perfectly. As you said, hook, line, and sinker. should have stuck the plant, should have just stayed on it, and then whatever happened, happened. But I mean, look, that is such an amazing individual play. Crunch time, red time, really well done. And it's 2 rounds in a row now, Rob, where DAMWON Kia have not won in a clean fashion on the defensive side of Theme Park, but they've still come out ahead anyway and got the rounds. 2 rounds where SSG could have got off to a dream start. 2 rounds where it's DAMWON Kia that come away with the chocolates. And look, it's at some point you also kind of expect DAMWON to start winning a couple of defensive rounds in a cleaner fashion. You know, finding opening kills and being getting up, say 5 versus 3, and really hampering the attacking nature of SSG, which, in all honesty, in this series, if you look at it as a whole, has been a forefront strength of SSG. Their attacking power has actually looked very, very good, despite Dexter struggling on the entry, and on a role like Finca, they're still doing well overall on the attacking side. We saw that Chalet, which obviously favors attackers, and even on a map like Theme Park, where it favors defenders, they've still been in these rounds, probably greater than you would ever really see attackers. So they just haven't got the reward yet.
No, but, you know, there's only one player standing in their way at the moment. That's Yas. Yas has gone 2 back-to-back 2v1s. So, granted, it's probably the time that's really playing the biggest factor for SSG.
Yep.
The fact that, yes, DAMWON Gaming are coming away with these rounds, but it's on the back of these 2 versus 1 situations. Yas has been absolutely massive. And now the opportunity to shut them down. I feel really bad for SSG, but like you said, there are a lot of positive takeaways here. This might be one.
It's a full rush. They got the Ying, they've got the Amaru, Finca, and Lion, and it's DAMWON Kia that lose that opening player. This is a great opportunity for SSG. They got the early kill onto Rin. You've got the full rush strat as well, but it has kind of stalled out a little bit over towards that arcade entrance. Not really much more to have Yellow Stairs control, but all things considered, just 1 kill. And Hot and Cold actually not even close. He's still over like near spawn. So I mean, I don't know that. I honestly thought that I look at that lineup, I hear the EU one down, like it's a full rush. No, it's almost like a baited rush, but they found the kill.
See, this is what we saw in Chalet as well. There were 2 rounds on SSG attacks where it kind of seemed like it was going to be a full-blown rush, but all that utility is flushed out just to get in the building. And on both occasions for DWG, they overreacted. They tried to make a play, and SSG were waiting for that. And the same thing happens here with Rin going down now, opens the round up for SSG. Again, want to highlight how well they're playing on the attack, even regardless of this scoreline right now.
Coda just taking a nade to the face there, takes a bit of damage, throws out some gas babes in response. But again, the middle sector of this round is not looking very good for SSG. It's slow, not really gaining a whole lot. It's still pretty much Yellow Stairs control. Okay, maybe you get to work the cafe up above, but there's only 55 seconds left. This is something they should have been doing 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, this is where time once again is going to come down to the wire, and it well and truly will be the 6th defender. It's going to be an issue for them if they do not find their way in. But that yellow ping Bosco pulls off at the angle as Woogie almost gives up the free kill. But there we go, Dexter starting to hit a bit of a flow here. Hot and Cold shutting down. Cat saying, fantastic round from SSG. They've had 2 rounds leading in where they looked good. This time they looked phenomenal.
And it's interesting because it actually goes away from what was quite successful for them at the start of Theme Park and also back on Chalet, which was fast-paced aggression. Now, I thought they were going to bring it out in this round. You looked at the lineup that they had, and yeah, for the most part, they got the early kill into Ram, but then they just slowed it all down, played to the tempo of a slower-paced team working through their objectives, and they just found so much more success. Picked apart DAMWON Kia, probably started to get a little antsy on the defense, peeking and taking corners, but that was so much cleaner from SSG. Probably the cleanest round we've actually seen from them this series so far. Dexter finding a kill as well, so you know, you start to think from an individual perspective, new player on the team, land environment, all it takes is a couple of kills, Rob. You start to feel that confidence that you do belong, that you can play your role, and that's all that's probably being asked of him right now. So big round win, attack on Theme Park. They only probably need 1 more for the rest of this half. Good signs for SSG, considering the first 2 rounds, they honestly could have won both of those.
Yeah, that's it. Literally, it's just a difference maker at this point. It literally could be 3-0 to SSG. and they could be having themselves a party. It's not to be at the moment. Very quickly, another update. I do like to update on a stream while we are currently covering 5-1 up for Wild in the second map on Chalet. Yep, well, but here's the caveat. It's 5-1 on a Chalet attack. So there is a small little footnote next to the 5-1.
It's still 5-1.
It is.
We spoke about this on our own Chalet game prior, that, you know, 4-2 is the pass mark, and if it goes to 5-1, that's probably too much. Just Dexter on the rappel. That's a rough one there, but yeah, that's such an intriguing result, and awful for Liquid, but amazing for Wild. You love those underdog stories, and who knows, maybe this tournament might just have a couple of them, but right now, obviously, full focus here on SSG because they've looked good on Theme Park, Rob. I think when you take into account defender side of Theme Park, I think they've been the better team so far this first half. Puts them in a good position. They just got to get one more round. Go into that second half. We know their defense is going to be pretty good here on Theme Park. It's a map that does get played a little bit more in the NAL than it does in APAC North, so they should be a bit more familiar.
That you'd hope. That you would hope. So this is a great opportunity for SSG here. And this has actually been something, especially on Theme Park, that we've seen a lot out of from SSG. We've seen a lot of yellow pings, a lot of really great early intel, and it was a hallmark for their attack on Chalet. Obviously, when they went to the defender side, we can just, you know, wipe that aside. This has really been such a great start for SSG, continuing to double down on intel, continuing to double down on these individual plays. Rin actually stuck over toward the storage, as now SSG look to shape up a little bit more. You can just see the intel as they're swapping through the cams, but Yas with what a shot that is on a vertical. Rampy even acknowledges it.
Rampy's a fan. Nice shot. Yeah, and that's a big shot too, right? And with a minute left, if SSG find another kill there, it's 5-3, and they're probably going to win the round, and at 2-2, it would be disaster. But good to see Dexter finding a couple of kills here on Theme Park. 3-1 now. You start to gain that confidence, and that could be the difference maker. You know, was obviously largely unimpactful on Chalet, but if he can find impact on that finger, on that entry roll here on Theme Park, it could be the difference. It's why they're looking a little bit better here on the attack here on Theme Park. 30 seconds left, 4 versus 4, but now the hard part, the tricky part, getting onto site.
Certainly looks like they're going to have to funnel through here, and this is going to be an explosive play. Hot and Cold trying to force the player off of the deployable shield, but it's Woogie Man. He truly might be the boogeyman here for SSG, but it's not to be. Hot and Cold is shutting it down. Rin and Yas, as long as Yas is left standing, there is still a hope, there is still a chance here for SSG, but Dexter is stepping up here in this second map. Rin now to clutch in a 1 versus 2, forces his way into Throne, isolating the fights, takes another scalp from SSG. With 30 seconds left here, he has so much time to play with. He calms down for half a second, forcing that player around the pillar to move, but it's Dexter with a 4K in a pivotal round here on Theme Park.
Oh, and he looked cool, calm, and collected, didn't he, in that moment? He was not moving a muscle. He knew what he had to do, didn't panic, and what a play. And obviously, a lot of people would have looked at that Chalet game, and it's easy to sit back and bag him out, but you got to remember, a LAN trialing for a team like SSG, there's going to be some jitters, there's going to be some nerves in that first map. That's out of the way, and you're seeing what this kid can do here on Theme Park. 6-1, big quad saving round win as well, and that could have been yet another round, Rob, where it goes the way of DAMWON after all the work being done by SSG. But not this time, not this time. And now it's 2-2 on a defender-sided map, on the map that SSG chose. Again, like Chalet, first half, they've been the better team.
They truly have. They truly have. And now it's about closing this out, right? All good and well to go 2-2 in the first 4 rounds, but if DWG pull away with a 4-2 half, even though we could probably argue that still might not be good enough on the defense, it does still cause some amount of concern. So SSG, they do not want to slow down here. Do not take your foot off the accelerator. You are looking tremendous in this map, in this match entirely, actually. Like you said, Chalet, outside of their defense, it really did look quite menacing. So if they can tidy up when they head to the defense of Theme Park, we head to Bank, and that, for me, I am concerned for SSG. You look at DWG's history on Bank, and it doesn't look great for the North Americans. Look, they can back themselves in here, but the main focus is ensuring that they can finish this on a 3-3 half, because they have just been heads and shoulders better.
We'll get, look, obviously there's a lot to talk about for Bank. If we get there right now, it's looking like we should be getting there from what we've seen from SSG. Not to say that DAMWON here, cannot replicate what we're seeing here. I mean, maybe we live in fantasy world. This ends up being an attacker-sided theme park. Who knows? But Bank is a map we'll obviously discuss later. Heavily sided for DAMWON, but right now for SSG, all they can focus on is this map of theme park. And so far, for a defender-sided map, their attack has been quite clean, and it's in a very contrast style to Chalet. They're playing the maps really well. Like, they played Chalet to the aggression like you would expect, and they're playing Theme Park to a bit more of that slow, methodical playstyle like you would expect. So really good signs from SSG, and they're looking like, to me, a competent outfit, and it's good to see Dexter is obviously starting to feel a little bit of confidence as well.
Yeah, that's a massive sign for SSG. If Dexter can get confident, if he can start to feel comfortable with this roster, the rest of this tournament could be an absolute breeze for them if they're able to bring this together. Bosco finding Yas, one of the bigger players for DWG here on Theme Park. Massive pick to start off with. Also, quick little footnote, it is 6-1 back to Wild again against Team Liquid. This is not good.
Wow. Back-to-back 7-1s could be on the cards there. That's not the way I would have predicted Liquid Storm starting. Hot though from Yellow Stairs. Quick double. Rounds over courtesy of Dexter, and 3 attacking round half now on Theme Park for SSG. I'm starting to think and sense that this map is going to be going their way, because you couldn't ask for a better first half on the attack for SSG. No. And quite honestly, a little bit disappointing on the defender side for DAMWON Kia. We are not anticipating this to be an attacker-sided theme park, so they are losing rounds that they should be winning based on the side that they've started on. It's a bit concerning, and in some ways kind of validates those opening 2 rounds, Rob, that even though they won those, they didn't win it clean, and in all honesty, SSG probably should have won those, so it has been an SSG half, to say the least. Yeah, literally, it could be 5-0 right now. We could be looking at a speed run for SSG. It's been concerning to say the least for DWG. The thing is, for me, no matter how deep this map does get, I feel like the signs are there for SSG. The fact that we have a double elimination bracket for each group, it gives every team enough time to get back into the comfort zone, no matter what happens. So from here on out, this is a really, really good start to the tournament. I know the SSG have lost their first and opening map. Again, DWG's match on Chalet. We go to Theme Park. They are looking heads and shoulders better than DWG. Now, again, I ask you about the ability to close out here, especially when we head to the second half. But this could well be a 4-2 first half on the attacking side. 3-3 is already well and truly past the pass mark for the attack. When you take into account, looking at some of the statistics as well for DAMWON Kia, only a 36% attacking win rate on Theme Park to a 57 defensive win rate. So if they're ever to win on Theme Park, it's their defense. And clearly, that hasn't shown up. And even if they do get 3-3 to close out the half, you're still favoring SSG from here. So it's been job done from SSG in the first half. They get one more round to really nail home the advantage that they've well and truly established for themselves. And they should be pretty happy with the way that they're playing here. And that's one thing that maybe they can take into Bank if we do head there. A bit of form, having won the prior map. Obviously, though, in terms of the history of the map, DAMWON Kia, they love Bank. But Rin goes down early here in the 6th round. It's further good news for SSG. They have dominated here in the first half in getting opening kills and putting DAMWON Kia on the back foot on the defensive theme park. This has actually been rather one-sided in this first half. It really has. The scoreline is actually not telling the full story.
And I think that, this goes deeper than the opening kills and things like that. The information gained from SSG on the attack, you cannot fault it. You absolutely cannot fault it. Within the first minute of the round, they've taken storage and lab, which is a major part of this map. If they want to take barrels, if they want to push in from split, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They've taken so much control. They've got 1:15 left on the board. DWG yet to respond. Hatches are open, which means that they've got to be careful of a flank, got to be careful of that vertical play. But for now, provided SSG don't trip over their own feet, they're in a really good position.
Round's over. There's no tripping over feet happening here in the 6th round. It's going to be a 4-2 attacking half for SSG. And I think that the biggest thing for them as well is Dexter's performance, because it's easy to sort of rely on the older heads. Hot and Cold 7-3 obviously been playing well, and Rampy had a magnificent Chalet playing well again. Here, look at the rush.
Oh,
who's watching that? You still got 3 players that should be watching side entry points, and it's just an easy run through headshot.
Oh.
I mean, this should not be happening on Throne Armory of Theme Park Rock. This is a disaster defensively from DAMWON here. And honestly should be a little bit criticized for this defensive effort here against SSG. Full credit to SSG, not taking anything away from them. They've been absolutely flawless in that first half. But questions asked of DAMWON here's defense. They've got a lot of work. And for teams maybe watching, you know, if you can get this map at the Berlin Major, take them there, because that was quite appalling from DAMWON here.
Could almost be a freebie, an absolute freebie. I just want to make a very quick statement. 14 rounds to Wild, 2 rounds to Team Liquid. They have Wild, which a tier 2, tier 3 team from EU have defeated one of the best teams from Brazil. Team Liquid are now in the lower bracket of their said group.
I can't believe that. That is just, I have to see it to believe it almost, if I'm going to be honest. Not just the fact that they've lost 7-1 and 7-1. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit perplexed. Well, obviously, we'll be able to sort of dissect that once we're done with this game, but a lot of siege still to be played here between these two teams, because it's looking very likely that we will be heading to bank, Rob. A magnificent first half from SSG on the attack of Theme Park, a defender-sided map. But who knows? Maybe there could be something still to be said in this second half. Maybe DAMWON Kia are going to show us this is actually attacker-sided. Maybe they can pull something out of the hat. We'll have to wait and see, because they're going to have to play out of their skin here if they're going to close out this series 2-0. For those maybe just tuning in, first map, Chalet, did go the way of DAMWON Kia. It was a 7-5 victory. We head obviously to Theme Park now, which is the map pick of SSG. Bank is the decider, which is heavily in favor of DAMWON Kia. That is probably more of their map pick than even Chalet.
Yeah. Yes. This is a really big turning point for SSG's storyline in this particular best of 3, but also in the tournament. Both attacking sides that we've seen from them, Chalet, Theme Park, they've been tremendous on. Now, can you double down? Can you find the defensive rounds? Or is it going to be much of a muchness? I cannot see a world in which Spacestation Gaming don't tidy up their defense here and don't close this out. But having said that, DAMWON Gaming are dangerous on the attack. APAC are known for their play styles. And this is definitely a point that could turn the tide, but I am well and truly on SSG's camp.
Yeah, yes, we mentioned it obviously on Chalet, +10 entry this stage for APAC North, 14-4. I mean, impressive stats. You've also then got Coated and Woogieman, both very good on the... Oh, is that a double Claymore from Katsang? It's not every day you see that, Rob. Maybe one, but not 2 players with 1 Claymore. He does die for his effort, but that is one for the books. I don't know the last time I've seen that.
No, I'd love to see what happened then. I would love to see what happened for SSG. And that already kind of goes to the storyline we were talking about. SSG's defense, where are they going to find these rounds from? They don't want to give too much away, and they are, but Hot and Cold, he has been the standout player alongside Dexter on Theme Park for SSG. Okay. With him going down, do we start to ask the question, Xenox? If Rampy can close this out, we may be one step closer, though. Oh!
Big shot from Rampy. Yeah, I know what you're alluding to, Rob, and we'll sort of touch on that after this round, but still time. 40 seconds of it as well. Coda does have actually the diffuser, but he also just has Rampy's head in his sights. Well, maybe, just maybe, Theme Park could actually be turning into a roller coaster here of an attacker-sided Theme Park, something we did not expect. The stats basically say this is largely defender-sided, Rob, in pretty much every major region. But so far, it's the attack that has found success. 3-4 is the scoreboard. It's a big round win for DAMWON here. Absolutely massive, and sets the tone now going into the second half. Remembering as well of Chalet. Now, Chalet was an attacker side of map, but it was the attack of SSG, Rob, where they found all their success. Their defense, they couldn't stop anything, right? It was just all DAMWON here. They won 5 attacking round wins in a row. So it was only 1 defensive round win for SSG. That was it. So, I mean, maybe there is a way back into it here for DAMWON.
SSG's defense looking like Swiss cheese. Holes everywhere. Let's hope that it does not continue.
Well, in fairness to that last round, 2 players dying to a Claymore. Obviously, they want to be somewhat aggressive on the defense. They don't want to just sit on site, so you can kind of see what was the mindset there for SSG. Now, maybe you reel it in a little bit. Okay, we don't need 2 players dying to a Claymore and 2 players swinging out and looking for spawn peaks. But I think if they're going to be somewhat aggressive and in the face of DAMWON here, that can still be successful for them. And it's not like every round they're going to be down 2 players from the get-go. So no, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Still a lot of siege to be played here in the second half. But I'm very curious to see what DAMWON Gaming here can bring here. Can this really end up being attacker side of theme park? I would almost love to see it.
You would love. I mean, I would hate to see it for the fact that we would not be going to see Bank, but definitely it would be fun. It would be fun to see DWG kind of bring this map back. One big thing for me, SSG starting out on their defenses, they have not gone to Throne in the first 2 defenses. Instead, Bunk and then over to Lab and Storage, which, I mean, you know, make of that what you will. I do think that's an interesting choice considering the statistics that surround Throne. Clearly, they have a specific reason for this, but they need to prove to us what that reason is, and they need to do it now. You would not want to start off losing your first 2 defensive rounds. Having said that, Yas in the building, taking a lot of control off them already, and Bosco just being very careful of that storage window. It can be quite devastating. We've seen it before. DWG just walk into sight. There is no one watching out toward lobby, and Yas has taken control. DWD are taking control, and they may well take over this match.
Well, I mean, it's a combination of the fact that you've just waltzed onto site, but you're also finding the kills as well off-site. So it's just DAMWON here in an absolute slaughterfest in this 8th round. I mean, there's no contest really from SSG at all. Faults in a 1 versus 4, but there's not much you can really expect from him in terms of saving the round. He makes his way over towards the bot yellow stairs in this corridor position and can maybe sneak onto site. That's an intriguing nitrocell, but maybe he should just try and bait out a player in toilet. But yeah, Red's outside now. The round was basically over once that plane went out, and so you kind of go back, Rob, to the earlier parts of that round and wonder, how did that transpire? How do you just allow them to walk straight through on Lab into storage while also finding kills above? It's a little bit staggering. Defensively, not quite good enough there from SSG. And if I was critical of DAMWON's defense in the first half, well, I'll be critical of SSG's defense so far in the second half. It hasn't offered much, and so far, Theme Park is looking rather attacker-sided. I can't believe it.
It certainly is. It certainly is. I use the analogy Swiss cheese, and it is.
You know what? You're probably right now. I'll back you up on that one.
Yeah, there's holes everywhere at the moment. SSG, they go to Throne and Armory here. We were hyping them up so much in that first half. We thought truly that this was going to be a defended-sided theme park. All of the statistics are trending that way in pretty much every region. Not only that, you look at the bans, there's nothing to suggest that defense would be harder.
If you look at 57 rounds in the NAL for a 60% defensive win rate on this map. So I'm just going off really the statistics. Now, and you may also say, well, obviously DAMWON is not in the NAL. Well, if you're going to have, I mean, it was only played once officially, but in that one game of 15 rounds, 73% defensive win rate. So both of these 2 teams, and obviously for us from APAC South, we know it's also defender-sided in that region. So across the board, this is a map that we are a little bit perplexed as to what's happening right now. Is it a matter of both teams are just really good offensively and their defense needs work? I mean, it's hard to say. But right now, though, the pressure falls right back onto SSG. This is a best of 3. You've already dropped the first map. Now it's 4-4. So now we start to really get serious here because you've just gone from a really good first half. You can't be throwing the second half.
Yep.
Reloading.
First 2 map stats definitely go to show that their attacks are unbelievable, but their defenses are just not up to scrap yet. But of course, Chalet and now Theme Park, I don't know. It's time to see whether SSG have it in them. You got to remember, DWG are actually up the map pick right now. Sorry, up the map. They, of course, winning Chalet are in the driver's seat. And Xenox, instead of 1 hand being on the steering wheel, it's now 2. Spacestation Gaming really holding on to this cash position, and they're really backing in fulls to make a big play.
Yeah, and they've been somewhat aggressive. We obviously saw the double Claymore kill in the opening round of the second half. So SSG going with a bit of a different approach to DAMWON Care, who was a little bit more on-site, a little bit more defender side. But again, 3 rounds in a row that the attacking team has got the opening pick for DAMWON Care. Now, trade back from Dexter, big kill. Where's that from Odin? He turns around and wonders what's just happened to his teammate in Rin, who's now 3 and 8, has actually struggled as well on Chalet. Big kill from Katsang, finally gets rid of Dexter, the thorn in the side, who's been tremendous here on Theme Park. But again, advantage regained for DAMWON Kia.
Planted.
How long is he going to last? This is a pretty turbulent round, but with hot and cold going down, I don't want to say that seals the deal, but a 4 versus 2. Your defense is on Throne and Armory. Yes, there are choke points, but there are also so many ways into this site that you're going to have to contend with. And already, with 45 seconds left, DAMWON Gaming are pretty much setting up for this eastern side push.
I honestly feel like at this point, I need to like phone a friend and call Dev Martyr and be like, Dev, what's going on here, mate? You need to just break this one down for me, because this is perplexing, Rob. Absolutely not expected here for this map and the way that it's played out. But yeah, full credit also to DAMWON Care for having the mindset to not give up, not give in. Who cares? I can't believe we're seeing Sense here coming out. What is going on? Sense is to throw Armory, but Rampy and Bosco find the kills as well. This is just not something I expected to see. What is going on? Woke up today.
No!
On Throne Armory. They have thrown it completely.
No! Not in a prone! Not from the prone, Bosco! But that was...
And Rampy.
And Rampy. Rampy obviously causing a lot of havoc coming through and back and forth through the screen there. But really, when you think about the play that Bosco made, sitting in behind the chassis and just kind of prancing and dancing around that, so hard for DAMWON to deal with, especially once again with the time. But that's a really, really detrimental round for DWG. The timeout kind of doubles down on that point, and now SSG, they could well take this game back.
Yeah, well, let's not probably get too ahead of ourselves anymore, because I'm probably guilty of doing that off the back of that first half. I was assured, Rob, I was like, no, this is it. We're going to bank. But yeah, 1 round, and from what we've seen in this series and in this map, so far attackers have just been outright better. And it took a bit of a calamity. It took a bit of a mess up for DAMWON to throw that round away. Now, it does give SSG a look in. They are still on the defense, and who knows, maybe we could just get a moment of sanity where the defenders on Theme Park can get the job done. If that does happen, we can head over to Bank for, honestly, a bit of a deserved map, because it's the beauty of a best of 3. DAMWON was clearly the better team on Chalet. I think SSG's been the better team on Theme Park, but they've still got to close it out here, and if they don't, then DAMWON deserves 2-0. But a strange round for what's been a strange map.
Very strange map indeed, but I mean, there are quite a few takeaways here. Probably the biggest one for me for SSG is Dexter coming online. Dexter has gone from 1 kill to 11 kills in just 1 map, and we're still not even done yet. That pick onto Yas as well, that is a really, really big takeaway. The Jackal going down, the SSG roam is now free. So where DWG go from here, they either have to find a pick within the next minute, or they're going to have to shape up for, one of those 4v5 pushes with little to no kind of insult.
Well, and yeah, losing gas is super key here for SSG as well. That's the Jackal gone, and obviously Yas is a solid player, but with that IMELC scanner being able to sort of track down those roamers, it's now null and void, and puts SSG in a really good position to get map point, and Bolts finds a kill onto Woogie, man. Further compounding a bit of a tough round here for DAMWON Kia. And maybe, just maybe, a little bit of normality being restored on this map, on this defender-sided map. Defenders looking like they might just come away with this 10th round.
False. I know you're a gamer, but that is a oh no, he's already been yellow pinged. This is going to be the free swing. This is a trade back at the very least. And now, with a minute left on the clock, they do have control of Throne Armory and pretty much all that side of the map. But once again, they don't have intel on the top floor. I don't know if SSG are roaming enough. Yeah, they are.
Oh, let's go.
Coded.
Hey, yeah, Vulcan canisters weren't off, and then Kota just shot through the flames and finds the head of Bosco, who was prone. 3 versus 3. That 2-player advantage for SSG is now gone. Kota's low. Is that over towards Arcade Toilet? It's hot and cold. That actually found the killer to Rin.
Wow.
Dexter got lit up though, and so is Rampy too. Kota, you've got to win this fight. If Dan wants to win this round, he has to survive here and find this kill. Hot and Cold's just blasted himself, and Kota will oblige. There's a kill at least onto Cat, saying Kota does have diffuser in a 1 versus 2 inside a storage. Does he fake plant? Does he expect to swing? Now he goes for it. He probably has to stick it.
Pinch though, Dexter, run straight past him. Coded, how does he find that kill? 7 seconds left, Rampy. He's made his way back around the toilets. Coded's gonna have to stick this. 1 second left, waiting to get off, and this is the round done. Rampy, the freest kill of his life.
Run out of time.
And that is map point for SSG.
That's showing you how to play it though. Rampy, cool head, under pressure, understands the situation, knows that he can't get off of the diffuser at that point, plays to the time and then just rushes back in, knows where he is as well. They have the information. Really well played from Rampy. Dexter just got a little bit aggressive, did get punished, really nice shot, and in the end, not a bad effort, but map point for SSG. 6-4, being the better team here on Theme Park. They, at the very least, need to give themselves that opportunity on Bank in that third map to come if they can close out here. 2 rounds though for DAMWON Kia to maybe send this one to overtime, but the last 2 rounds have not quite been as clean, I think fair to say. Yeah. Started really well to start this second half, very clean on the attack, but basically ever since that blunder on Throne Armory with the Sens, it's been all downhill.
That's just it, right? Like, although we're saying SSG have probably played the better game here on Theme Park, DWG could currently be sitting on map point. That round Throne Armory, you can throw that away. A 4 versus 2 is not something you really should be losing, but you can't think about it too much. That round then, though, from a 5 versus 3 back to a 3 versus 3 for DWG, that could have been really quite a pivotal round for the momentum of this game, and it's not to be in favor of DWG. Closing this out now and heading toward Bank, I think opens this series up completely.
You reckon?
I think it does. I know DWG are really strong on Bank, but I feel like if SSG can gain back the momentum that they lost, yes, their defense is they've not been great. There's just you can't be, we can't be rash about this. Their defenses have been horrible.
I'll leave you with a teaser here, Rob. Obviously,
Please.
You've seen the stats: 7-1 for DAMWON on Bank. But guess what? That 1 is their last one on Bank when they lost 4-7 to Spear Gaming. So maybe there is a prime opportunity for SSG to make that 2 losses in a row for DAMWON. So yeah, very much could be on the cards. And yeah, I agree. I think you get to Bank, you take this map out here on Theme Park, you've got to back yourselves in and give yourself a chance. And I think that they'll be right in there with the fight. And look, they've been so good on the attack. I think Bank's another map that could really play into that as well for SSG. As we're not done yet though. DAMWON Kia, if they can clean these rounds up a little bit, I can still see them send it to overtime. I'm not off them just yet.
It's always hard to count out DWG. They've pulled out some magical stuff in the past. This will definitely be an opportunity to do so. Minute 30. Longest defense. They can take control of break. It puts a lot of pressure onto SSG. And they're really starting to pinch all around the map. If they get Cafe and break, really SSG struggle on site to hold, and Hot and Cold going down now gives an opportunity. Rampy with a very quick trade. And there's probably 20 seconds left in this.
Yeah, it's maybe not complete total control of break, but there's feet in there and they're getting control of it. And again, that LMG of the Finker, so strong. Coda putting that one to really good use. Two-player advantage. They have faltered from this position before, but that was on thrown armor. I don't think that will be the case here. And not only that, they're on site getting the plant down, courtesy of Katsang. It's looking very likely that we will go 5-6. And DAMWON Kia will give themselves a chance to send this one to overtime, unless Fultz and Dexter can pull off a miraculous comeback, down 2-4, and Dexter's got no health as well. I don't see it happening, Rob. 5-6 is on the cards.
Certainly is. Fultz going down pretty much ensures it. Lovely shot from Dexter. He is looking like a man on a heater. He's got a lot more to do, though. This is the issue. As much as he might be able to hit another, there's just too many angles to deal with.
He's on, he's flicking all the angles, he's pre-firing, and then just gets shot in the back.
Yeah, that's...
Not a bad effort. And he's been really good to watch in this map of Theme Park. Obviously the first half, I think he got out to like 7-1. He had that big quad round as well. That ended a little bit poorly. The fact that there's actually been a correlation here onto Theme Park suggests to me that I think both teams have actually attacked really well, and yeah, defense has actually been a little bit questionable. So I think you can go with that one.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
On the ultimate round before we either close up and head to bank, or we go to OT, which I feel would be a fitting way to finish Theme Park.
Attackers have discovered
DWG have to attack the site that cursed them the most in the previous round. The one thing for SSG that they, I think, just had a varied amount of success was this hold up in cache, this extended roam. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. At the very least, Dexter did find a trade eventually at the top of Dragon, but it just didn't feel like it had the substance to it that it should. Granted, this time there could be a really good opportunity. If they can find an opening pick at the top of cache, if they can deny DWG early entrance into the top floor, really it makes their life quite complicated. So from here on out, we're probably looking to that to and fro game. I'm very excited to see what SSG have on this defense. Someone's already into the building.
Well, history right now is actually
Someone's already
against SSG.
Someone's already in. What are they doing? What's going on?
They just walk straight past Rampy.
What?
Gold. It's almost like they've left auto run on and they've just got off their computers and ran away. What's going on? They've just walked straight past SSG, who have not made a peep, and then just shot them in the back. Easy two-player advantage start for SSG. Well, I was going to say history against SSG because DAMWON Kia has never played Theme Park and not gone to overtime. Every time they've played this map, it has gone to overtime. But now, I'm starting to think history doesn't mean squat. And SSG just 3 player kills away from sending us to bank.
I am really confused as to what I just saw. Yeah, it feels like they thought they had intel that was sound, and clearly it wasn't, but this is where things get dangerous. Coded finding hot and cold, they now lose control of barrels, and they still do have somewhat of a way in, but without the hard breach, I just don't see this happening, Xenox. No matter how much I get on the train of kills or space being taken away from SSG, I think SSG can just double down on site.
Well, they have to at this point. I mean, time as well, a factor to probably do so. Minute 20, generally with about a minute left, at this point you probably just sit on side anyway. The only concerning thing for me, if I'm SSG, is the fact that they've still got Coated alive on that Finker. Still one Adrenal Surge as well, so he can get back to full health, but that LMG pushing into sight, he's just going and got Diffuser. I mean, there is good win conditions here for DAMWON Kia now. 3 versus 4, minute left, you've got Diffuser. The Finker's still alive with the LMG. I don't know if Hard Breach is going to be necessary. Of course, Katsang is gone, so no Ace, no Selmas, but they should have plenty of avenues to deal with sight. Oh! Hello,
From behind? What?
From behind
Dexter.
and above!
Oh my god! What? The silent assassin!
The blitz attack at the end of the round started with Dexter, and the rest of SSG mop up DAMWON Kia. Well, Dexter was hands on face. His head was in his hands at the end of Chalet, but now he's pumped.